So now we're going to talk about date night or blind date night or whatever date night. Now these topics are really scary. Date night is really scary for everybody. And again, this is why I'm doing it with the little puppets here, because this makes things a lot easier for people to understand. So these are some of the things that you may worry about, but you shouldn't, because if you look out for them, then you can head them off at the pass or make sure that you don't have them. Now, first thing list on date night is the kissing disease or mononucleosis. It's caused by this virus called Epstein-Barr virus. And basically most people are actually exposed to this when they're really, really young. And then, they don't have any symptoms anymore. So this is something that you want to be careful about. It doesn't mean that you only get it from kissing, but sharing bodily fluids. And again, it's something that maybe might have flu-like symptoms. It's not too bad. Most of us get it like when we're really young, but that's what the kissing disease is. It's the Epstein-Barr virus. And that's what it looks like if you were to look at it through a microscope. So this is just a larger size, we call these microbes, of what that virus looks like. So really people worry about pimples before they go on a date. That's like the big thing. You get all stressed out and then that pimple shows up. And a lot of people think that's because of fat, okay, or grease that's on their face. And really it's caused by a bacteria, and it's Propionibacterium acnes. Propionibacterium acnes. That's this little bacteria. And what happens is, yes, you do get a lot of grease in the cells, and that's because caused by the testosterone that's around. That's why a lot of teenagers get this. But then what happens is this bacteria loves those fat greasy cells. And so it will grow in there, and that's what causes the abscess or the cyst. And again, things that can treat it are antibiotics, because again, that's why antibiotics treat acne, because of this little bacteria right here. So we can get that gone with a little acne, or things that more have astringent-like properties that will kind of erase this bacteria. But that's really what you're trying to get rid of, not so much the sebum or the grease or the fat, but really this bacteria. Now, the other thing that you may worry about is cold sores. All of a sudden you get this little sore in your mouth and you're hoping you're going to get kissed on your date. Well, that's from another type of herpes that we talked about, herpes type 1, and that's the one that comes on the mouth. And most of us are actually exposed to this and have this, but it's just that it's mostly on the mouth. But you can pass on the herpes virus from the mouth to the genitalia. And so you do have to be careful when you have oral sex with herpes type 1, because you can pass it on down there and it can look like herpes type 2, but it's not. So this is what that virus looks. So it's just like herpes type 2, but they're the same shape as what you would see underneath. And again, there's no cure for this, but you can decrease the time of the outbreak by actually taking certain medications. Okay, so that's why that's really important. Now, this is sometimes when you get that really uncomfortable stomach and you have diarrhea. You ate something right before your date, and you're running to the bathroom all the time. This is the culprit. This is called Campylobacter, and it's a bacteria. And so again, this is something you want to be careful what you eat before you go out on a date, because you don't want that problem. That's just horrible, or it might postpone the date. And antibiotics can really help. So if you call your doctor, that may be what they prescribe for you. Okay, this is Porphyromonas gingivalis. This is bad breath or halitosis. And we all get worried about this before our date. And a lot of people think it's because, there's gas and stuff coming up from the stomach, but actually it's this bacteria. So if you eat acidic foods beforehand, like have a little pineapple or something like that, then this should start to ward off. That's actually, the mints are just hiding it, but if you really want to get rid of the bacteria, you've got to change the bacteria that are in your gut. And we all have different bacteria, but this is the one that's responsible for halitosis or bad breath. So if you want that lovely green breath, just eat a lot of fruits and something acidic that will really help to kill this bacteria. Also, things that are going to help the bacterial environment in the gut, like acidophilus. So these are the things you need to watch out for that first date or that blind date or date night, and we can help you with all of them. But the best thing to do is just relax, and it'll go great.